Assalamu alaikum. I'm Marwa, also known as Traveling Sudaniya, and I'm a British Sudanese creative specializing in photography. There are two genres that I focus on, travel and portrait. Those are my favorites. That's not to say I haven't tried or haven't done other types of photography, but I tend to focus on travel and portraits. By day, I'm actually a radiotherapist, a radiographer, so I actually treat cancer. Photography isn't my full-time job at the moment, but in my free time or when I go on holiday, photography is what I do. So about just over a year ago, September 2019, just before I was going on holiday to Sudan for 3 weeks, a friend suggested that I should try travel photography because I'm constantly traveling and I love photography, but I never really put that passion into something. So I started it up. I went to Sudan and I was experimenting with photography abroad. Since then, I've come quite a way. I bought a camera, I decided to take a career break, I pursued different things. Initially it was just travel, and then I branched out to portraits as well because I realised I enjoy working with people in beautiful places. That is what I love doing. When it comes to actually doing a shoot, usually beforehand I've got a concept or a location or a general idea with what I want to go ahead with, but I don't like to restrict myself so much knowing all the details. I like to explore and try different things, and especially when I work with models, see what they enjoy doing and kind of working together to create the magic that we create. So generally I'll go in with an idea, we'll have a location. I like to work outdoors. I don't really do studio work. I like working with natural light and the sun because there is nothing like the sun. And I like to essentially experiment with different things, have a lot of fun, and just make sure that we all enjoy ourselves when on a shoot. I typically shoot for a couple of hours and then I will transfer my images and I will play around with editing. I tend to say that the easy part is taking the pictures. The editing is what takes a long time and requires a lot of focus, and being a perfectionist myself, I put a lot of time and energy into editing, and it's still something that I'm learning even today. There are so many amazing women working in the creative industry, and there are so many inspiring women in that. But if I had to choose one, it would be Asma al-Badawi. She is everything. She is a poet, she is a photographer, she is a basketball player, she is an advocate for mental health, eating disorders. You know, she touches on a lot of things that are a taboo or something that women don't generally do, especially in the Sudanese culture. So it's really inspiring to see someone who goes out there and who's in sport and who's in mental health and who's in photography and poetry and is just going and always working outside the box and thinking outside the box and progressing in so many different ways that sometimes we may feel as women we can't exactly do because of the fact that we're women. Being a woman in this industry does come with its challenges, in that either it's not seen as something that is suitable for you because you're a woman, or in that you have to work extra hard to be noticed or to be unique. Now, I come from sort of two backgrounds where in Britain, in England, you have a lot of photographers, you have a lot of female photographers, and it's a very saturated industry. But coming as a Sudanese Muslim photographer, that's something different. So I have to do a lot more to stand out in this industry. Whereas in Sudan, there is a lack of female photographers. So in that, there needs to be a bit more of a push, because I think there is a taboo in the society that we need to have more women in the industry, and it needs to be accepted per se that I want to go into photography, and that is a viable thing, not just the sciences and the engineering and anything else that is expected of women to go into. If I had to start from scratch, I'd say I would definitely put more confidence in myself. I think I tend to put myself down, and that's part of it, is being a perfectionist. But a lot of my photography started to excel when I started to put myself out there, when I started to network, meet people, stop people in the street to take their picture, learn, grow from that. And coming from Sudan now, where I spent 4 months, definitely that confidence in just sending someone a message, I'd love to work with you. You know, talking to people, making friends, networking, that kind of thing, that's definitely helped me grow. And I have so much photography, and I've had amazing experiences, and I've met amazing people because of it. So I would definitely push myself to network, push myself to grow and learn, and ask people who are much more talented, you know, what can I do to grow? And a lot of these people are friendly, and they will help you or guide you or give you tips. And I found that there were people like that I met along the way, which I'm so grateful for, because they've helped me become who I am, really. So we all know that 2020 was a crazy year, but I found that photography for me was my coping mechanism. It was the thing that kept me motivated to keep going through. It gave me something to look forward to. I decided around the end of 2019 that I was going to go on a break, an employment break in 2020 for a few months, go stay in Sudan, do my travel photography, do portrait photography. Obviously COVID came, and I didn't know whether I was going to be still doing that, but I just kind of went ahead with it, and it turned out to be the best thing that I've ever done. So finding something that I was passionate about and that I could put my energy into, and that when I wasn't at work, even if I wasn't taking pictures, I'm editing, I'm watching YouTube videos, I'm watching Instagram videos, learning how to grow in photography. It's definitely the thing that kept me going, because it kind of gave me purpose. Part of the crazy of 2020 was making the decision as to whether risk going abroad in the middle of a pandemic, risk being stuck out in a different country where I've never lived, never spent more than a month and a half in, and risk, you know, losing my job if I got stuck over there. But, you know, I left it to God, and alhamdulillah, it all worked out. I spent the time, I got to extend my time, I got to do so much. I'm back, and I'm working as I was before. So I am very thankful for that. And the toughest decision ended up being the best decision that I ever made, because of the fact that I put so much energy and I was really passionate about my photography. I was able to achieve so much. I won a competition with my photography. I've been part of a magazine. I've hosted on the Muse. I'm doing this talk on the Hub. You know, there are so many different things. I've worked with amazing people. I've worked with an artist who I've been following since day one. I've networked with so many different people. So there are so many accomplishments, and they may be little things, but I think you have to praise yourself for the little things you achieve along the way, because that's what keeps you going. And eventually it will lead to the big things. So my message to the younger generation, to the female generation, is find something that you're passionate about. Don't worry what anybody else thinks. Put your time and your energy into growing as whatever kind of creative or whatever it is that you want to grow as. Don't be fazed by anybody's opinions, and especially your own. Don't pick at yourself too much. But as you keep going and you push yourself, it's going to be a slow road, but you will get there. And even where I'm at now, I still feel like I have a long road ahead of me, and you guys will be able to achieve anything that you want to achieve, as long as you put the time and the energy, and you keep yourself motivated and you keep yourself looking forward. So yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for listening. And if you ever need anything, just send me a message. I am more than happy to discuss anything with anyone. But thank you for having me. Shout out to the Hub Sudan for approaching me with this, and I hope you enjoyed my little talk today.